Well, welcome everybody. My name is Hannah. In case you have never met me before, never been here. I also have multiple sclerosis and I was diagnosed in 2017 at the age of 27. I've been an artist for pretty much my entire life. I even got my degree in art. I got my BFA. So it's good to be here. Good to be with some like-minded individuals who would also just love to use art for the betterment of their multiple sclerosis, because that's exactly what I did. So the project for today, since I am so great with titles, it's just called like lines and markers, something like that. If you guys think of a better name, please by all means tell me. So what I did, what you're looking at right here, is a bunch of marker lines, and it's a little bit more complicated than that. It's actually a pattern, actually. So I started on one side of my paper, and in fact, I'll show you this. I'll show you how I did it in a moment. But I divided my paper into four. You can see the other half over here, but I divided it into four and I worked on one section at a time. So this section first, then this section after that. And I chose four colors to use. They can be any colors you want for each side. So four colors on this side, four colors on this side. And what I did first is I took my straight edge and I took my pen and I made these lines going crisscrossing each other. And you can, I'll show you how to do this, but it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be a lot of lines, but draw our lines and then we'll go one by one color at a time, and start to fill in the edges of each of these sections. Now, it may seem like a daunting task, but we're going to break it down into smaller, more manageable areas, more manageable chunks. And the idea is to basically create this more rhythmic pattern. And you'll get into it. Oh, it's okay. You'll get into the pattern eventually. You'll get the hang of it, and the colors will just come right out eventually. And that's the idea. So I suppose we can get started now. Now I have my paper back here. And first thing I want to do is fold it into fours. So fold it in half first. What do they say in elementary school? Fold this like a hot dog. That's how they say it. Fold it like a hot dog. No, that's not hot dog. It's hamburger. Can't believe I remembered any of that. And then we take it again, fold it one more time in half, like this. Like so. Didn't have to be perfect at all. The whole point of us folding it at all is just to make our sections. That's what we want. We want to work on one section at a time. So folding it allows me to see those sections. And when we work, you can keep it folded like this if it helps you to see the sections a little bit better. But if you want to, you can also take it out and work on it like this if you wanted to do that. It's completely up to you. In my personal opinion, it seems a little less daunting if you make it smaller. I'm always a big fan of turning things into smaller, more manageable chunks of things that we work on. So I'm going to keep it like this. And I'm going to take my pen. And like I mentioned, if you have a ruler, which by the way, I actually found my ruler. I know I said I lost it and I did lose it. Then I suddenly found it. You can certainly use a ruler to make lines. However, if you happen to have nothing but a spare piece of paper, then what you're going to do is fold your spare piece of paper in half. We're going to make a straight edge out of that fold like this. So this is only if you don't have anything else to use.
That's a smart.
There we go. Make your line. And these lines will be random crisscrossing lines. There's really no rhyme or reason to anything that I'm doing. All we want to do is crisscross them. Hopefully pretty easy so far. So far, are there any questions? Cool. If there are any questions at all, ever, please let me know. I'm open to anything. Now here, for whatever reason, I didn't actually finish the line. So what I'm gonna do, because I didn't finish the line, is I'm going to try and put my piece of paper right back on top of my original line. There we go. Retrace some steps. Now I have a pretty good amount of lines on my original piece of paper, but we also don't want to make them too small either. I would say this is probably a little too small, but I mean, it's still doable, still something we can work with. I would say I'm probably gonna need a good amount of these kinds of lines that go across. Try to have a good variation if you can. Like maybe some that are angled a lot more than others. Like this one, I can really angle this one, get that one going. Maybe this one, I can come down with one that's very angled on this direction. Let's see, probably I'll just put one more just to make this one smaller. Maybe two more. I think I want to make these two smaller. Gets a little tricky eventually. And then I think I'm good with that. I think I'm all right like this. Now remember, this is just 1/2 or 1/4 of our full picture. If I bring this back out, you'll notice that I actually started on this side, and then this one was my second side. So if you'd like to jump on over and do your second side, you certainly can do that. Now, something you can do, it is optional, but if you wanted to, you can continue some of those lines. And in my picture, in my original picture, I did continue those lines. Didn't have to though. And I actually, if I remember correctly, I made a line along this crease here. But again, you don't have to work on that right this second. You can work on that later if you'd like to. I'll probably do that. I just wanted to show you what you can do if you so chose to. I'll just do one more and then continue on. I'll show you the markers that I'm using. So I'll finish that later. Doing okay so far?
Yeah.
Good to know. Cool. Now, the fun part, okay? Fun part is adding our colors here. So, like I said, I chose 4 colors out of my set of markers. So I'll probably end up choosing pretty similar colors. For whatever reason, I always end up choosing the same like 10 colors or something. There's a green. I don't think I ever choose this one. Now you can choose to be more organized with your color choices than I am, or not. Pick your favorites. So when I say organized, what I really mean is perhaps something along the same color scale, or maybe something along the same area in the color wheel. So that would be like different shades of blue, maybe, or maybe like something like this, maybe something a little more organized if you wanted to. Totally up to you. But for me, I like to be a little chaotic, so I'm not going to do that. There we go. You know, I'm actually going to throw in I always use my smaller like super tip crayons, but I'm going to use some regular ones as well. Maybe I'll replace one. Just because I want to show you what you can do if you happen to be using some of the larger markers like that. There we go. All right. So remember, the idea of this is to try and create a pattern for yourself. So if your method happens to morph a little bit later, but it works for you, then I say continue doing that method later on. But this is how I get started. I choose a color. Let's just do green because I can. And start on the outside of any one of your sections here. So I'm going to try to use the thicker edge. So I got a thick edge here, and I'm going to bend my marker in a way that will allow me to get the most amount of color in one. I almost said brushstroke. I was like trying to figure out what other word other than brushstroke can I use in one mark. How about that? And you'll see that eventually my lines are not going to be this straight. Trust me. So whatever it morphs into, keep going with it. After I create my first perimeter, I guess you could call it a perimeter, jump into another section. So I'm just going to pick a random one, perhaps over here. It's a smaller one. Once again, using the thicker edge of my marker so that I can get the most out of one line. And already I am sort of not being perfect with it, and I'm just going to embrace that. My marks will be whatever they want to be. If I happen to just be going a little bit faster later on and they get out of line, like that one, for example, then that's just kind of what happens. I would say try that out. Try doing this for, I don't know, maybe 4 spaces. And then you'll just kind of close the top and move on into another color. And this is where it really starts to get interesting. And I'm using a thicker marker just because I want you guys to be able to see the difference. Once again, even though it's a thick marker, I'm still trying to use the thick edge. Pick a different space. Go along the inside edge again. Pick a few, any few. And then eventually you're going to want to pick, I don't know, pick one of these guys. Pick one of the ones that has your first color and start to do the same thing, except you're doing it on the inside of your first color. Kind of like that. And this is where we start establishing our pattern. It can be as controlled or not as you would like it to be, or as controlled or not as your hand will allow you to, or your mind will allow you to. Basically, we'll just be going one color at a time and starting to create these patterns. Now, I don't know if you guys saw that, but I wasn't able to move my hand in a way that allowed me to get the flatter edge of the marker. So I just put a few different layers of the thin edge like that. Now, I don't want to go into all of these green areas with my blue marker. I'm going to save these spaces for some different colors. And that's what you can do. You can jump back and forth between some of your colors, add some more perimeters first, and then just keep going like that. First thing I want to do with my blue is maybe establish a few blue spaces. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I went along the crease edge there, and that crease edge was my line. And I'm going to try, if I can help it, I'm going to try to maybe not have the same colors touching sides. Like I see green here, so I'm going to try to put blue next to it. I mean, if it happens later, then it just happens. So I'm not gonna sweat it. But for now, I can at least do this. So far, do I have any questions?
No.
Cool. You guys are awesome. Yeah, I really try to make easy to follow along projects. So don't have to come here to class already sweating. It's okay. Now I'm moving on into my third color. So I'm going to start that same process all over again. Pick a space. I'm going to go towards the perimeter, well, the inside. I keep using that word perimeter. Maybe it's not the right word to use.
Sounds official.
Okay, thank you. Validation there, thank you. Now that teal I did, that perimeter. Now I can go into that very first section that I started. I can actually put a third color if I wanted to, but again, we have a 2-color limit on here. But if you really, really love your color choices, you can certainly do that. I'll probably cover that in green, but I just wanted to show you that you can do that. Let's see, perhaps I can do like blue and teal. That looks pretty nice. Now, I know I've said this in other classes, but again, because this is a very rhythmic, pattern-based piece of art or drawing, if you want to call it that, then you can put some music on in the background.
Oh,
I highly encourage that. Because I think hopefully you guys pretty much get the gist of what I'm doing here. But as always, I'm just going to start talking out loud. And if anybody has any questions, then feel free to interrupt me. Let's see, I was on teal. That's right. And if you haven't started your fourth color, you can change your mind at any point too. There's really no strict rules on how to start this or end this project. So you can do whatever you would like. And hopefully you guys will can kind of see why I mentioned earlier it took me a little longer than I expected to complete just one little section. I was pretty surprised. But like, I think at the time too, I was also like trying to get really straight lines too. And eventually I gave up on it, but you know, you can certainly strive for that if you want to. Let's see. Eventually, you're going to start doubling up on your colors, your already established colors. So for example, here and here, I can go back to green at any point. Those colors that you've already established, put them like this, double them up, layer those patterns one by one. And eventually you'll be able to complete a pattern. Now, it only took 3 layers for this particular one, but I completed it. Feels pretty good. This one right here, same thing. Green is the next on the list. Of course, that was me spilling my water because I left it too close to my things. Anyone have any questions? Is all right?
Yeah.
Cool. Good to know.
Sad I don't have thicker markers.
That's okay.
It just takes a lot longer.
Do you have like some of the finer point markers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's okay. I know somebody mentioned they have crayons, and I do think it could work with crayons, and I would love to see an example if you want to share it later. I believe you can probably also get away with doing this with colored pencils too if you wanted to.
You already used 3 colors, right? Or you go for the 4th one?
Correct. I haven't used the 4th one yet.
Oh.
Yeah, I was too absorbed in the other 3. So that's cute. Let me do 4th color. That would be my yellow. And I'm going to start the way I did with every other color. Just do the inside first layer. And again, I'm going to try not to have these colors touch back to back. Try being the key word here. And then I can even use my 4th color to start the 2nd layer of some of my spaces. Now, eventually you'll see some overlap of some of these colors. personally, I love the way that looks. I love the way the colors layer and overlap each other. So I might purposely be a little bit more messy on some of those colors because they look pretty nice. I did get a few little smudge marks right here, but that's all right. My markers will cover those. So it'll work out. Now, I know I see a lot of new faces today. Is anyone experienced with art?
No.
No. Heard a no.
I do some art. I mean, it's not like I get paid for it, but
Hey, that's okay.
I'm currently doing, there's the 100-day challenge
Uh-huh.
to do 100 days of art. And so I had this little book that I just like every day I do like something.
Oh, I
So,
love that.
yeah,
I love that.
it's been great.
I sort of stopped like paying attention to some of those challenges eventually. So good on you to actually
I've never
do
done
it.
one. I usually find them stressful, and I show these books that I decided I didn't want to make it stressful. And
Yeah.
my kid has these books that like it walks you through drawing like step by step.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just decided to start with like these like super easy, fun faces and not make it, stressful.
I love that. I really love that book.
Yeah, it's there he's
Oh, cool.
Ed Emberley is
Oh,
yeah,
I see it.
yeah.
Nice. That's
So,
really
yeah,
awesome.
and it all just starts with like shapes, so it's not like you have to be a master, at anything.
Yeah. It sort of takes the pressure away from drawing and
Yeah, like I made these and I don't know anything about drawing, but I mean, I
Let's
just
see.
did some triangles and squares and circles.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice. They're really cute, by the way.
fun, yeah.
I love it. Yeah, one of my favorite things is, being able to try to break things down to a more manageable size, bite size, I would say. Makes it a lot less stressful.
Brandy, could you show that name of the book again?
Yeah, he's got several. Yeah.
I am not art at all, and
So this is Ed Ember. I can put a link in there, but
thank you. That'd be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
yeah, it's super great. And they're fun. Like I've been doing this kind of thing.
Oh,
and it just walks
man.
you through step by step, and
The fox.
yeah, it's
How
super.
cute.
For somebody that's never taken an art class in her life, that would be a good place to start.
Definitely, yeah. And like, my kiddo didn't use them, so I'm like, before I pass these on, and then I'm like, I'm using them. So
Get some use out of them.
yeah, and it really did make the first days of the challenge where I'm not just like, oh my god, I have to draw something like what is art, and this I'm just like, oh, I can make some cute little foxes, and yeah.
Really cool, Brandy.
Yeah.
I used to love like sifting through like some of those same kinds of books, but they sold them at like the Scholastic book fairs.
Oh yeah.
But those were geared more towards kids who already had a basic understanding of drawing.
Yeah, this is not. This is if you know a little bit of your shapes. There you go. That's all you need.
You can do it if you know some shapes. You're good. Nice. I love stuff like that.
Yeah, art shouldn't be stressful unless you're getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
And then even
honestly, like my own dream was to be like a legit artist. And when I got MS, I felt like I had to give up on that. And I felt like I couldn't really, like keep up with the big players, and but I feel like that whole idea of, I guess, meditation and sort of like needing to look at things differently because you have MS, just makes it way less stressful.
I didn't know you had MS.
Yeah. Diagnosed in 2017.
Oh, no.
It's been, it's only been, it's only been like not even 5 years.
Yes, I'm actually a graphic designer. I've always drew, but it's been kind of hard, since I was diagnosed with MS. I'm just trying to make my way and do, this is very therapeutic. I'm gonna continue definitely doing this. So, you have any other classes, I'm gonna be there.
Oh, I love that, Lamar. Good to have you here. And
thank you.
I think that's super cool that you're a graphic designer.
Yes.
That's not a skill that I have. Let me tell you. It's but it's interesting though how MS just kind of makes you feel like you have to build up your skills again,
it does.
Never mind like just trying to be a human again, just try being an artist again, or whatever you were in the past. Honestly, like even if you worked with numbers and can't anymore, it's different. It's difficult.
Well, we're here with Hannah every Monday night, and on the Foundation's YouTube page, there's probably already, 10, 12 videos of previous classes. And it's always something fun and therapeutic. And Hannah breaks it down in ways even completely untalented people like me can understand.
Okay, I'm gonna definitely check that out.
These sessions are being recorded, correct? So could we look at past ones?
Yes, I am going to put the link in the chat in just a minute, as soon as I can type it out.
Thank you.
Yay. Yeah, I found that using really simple and cheap, honestly cheap supplies, just that whole idea of being simple and being cheap helped me tremendously too, because as an artist, or really even for anybody who's just starting art, it's a little intimidating to have to go and buy different art supplies, and you think you have to like have exactly the correct ones, and you're going to lose out if they're not correct and art's not simple. But that's not the case. You can do things that are therapeutic and have it be very good for you. You can do things that are simple and have it be good for you.
I dropped the link to the Foundation's YouTube channel in the chat, or if you need it later, you can always reply to your registration email for today. That'll come to me and I'll send it to you. So you can find the previous classes there.
Thank you, Casey.
You're welcome.
Yes. Yeah, and if you happen to do some of the projects, you're more than welcome to email me a picture. I always love just to see what everyone's doing.
Yeah.
Now, in case you haven't noticed, I've just been jumping around and doing one color at a time. So I've finished first putting in my fourth color. And right now I'm just jumping back and forth, looking at what needs to go where, what can go where. So from one color to the next, and just kind of working on it little by little. So hopefully by now you guys can see what I'm talking about when I say that you can, if you wanted to leave this project alone for a little bit, give yourself a little break, you can certainly do that. It's not something you have to sit there and complete. I'm trying to resist the temptation to put in a 5th color, only because I know how much I really like the way this one turned out. And I don't want to complicate it too much with a 5th one. Normally, I'm totally okay with using lots of colors, but
I do like the other one. Was that green and pink or?
yeah, this one was like a light, like peachy color.
Yeah,
That was, it's the teal and peachy and orange and lavender.
And I like that you can really see your, like my lines, I did it really light with pencil. I like your dark lines.
Oh, yay. Okay. Let's get to know how it looks with the pencil.
Well, that was just the original lines. Everything else is in dark marker. So it's just kind of gobbled up the pen. Yeah, I bet even if I had a black pen, you wouldn't be able to see my lines. You could put them back in, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. And in fact, it might look actually pretty cool if you were to go back in with maybe a Sharpie marker later.
Yeah.
That might really exaggerate those lines.
It'd be cool if you could get like really thin like masking tape for the lines and then remove it.
Oh, that would be cool.
I'm sure that exists.
Yeah. I know that like for the nonprofit that I used to work, that I do work for, one of the artists that used to work for them, she used masking tape a lot in her artworks, and she's done some artwork where you do make a bunch of lines with the masking tape, but I don't remember how or what she did with it exactly.
I was going to
say
one of my friends who also has MS does her art, and she does use masking tape, and she uses acrylic paints and then takes the masking tape off, and they turn out really, really pretty.
Okay, yeah, that must be really cool. I've seen some other professional works where the artist will actually tape off the like he'll paint one color, and then he'll put masking tape on top of that color, and then he'll paint the rest of his painting the way he does. And then when he pulls off the masking tape, it becomes something completely different. And he basically utilizes the lines of the masking tape to create light, or the perception of light, I would say.
I saw something like that. It was amazing. It's like magic.
Yeah, right. And I'm pretty sure the TikTok that I'm thinking of. There's pretty amazing artists out there.
Yeah, people that can like paint the entire thing upside down, and then you think it's one thing, and then they flip it around, and you're like, wow,
like, wow,
it's a face. Yeah.
I know, yeah. That reminds me, there's even another artist who will paint like 2 different pictures, but on one painting. And she'll mask off the one section while she's working on the other section. And then reverse, she'll wait for it to dry, and then mask that first layer that she was painting. And then when she removes it, it's technically the same painting, but it looks completely different because she uses completely different colors. I know I probably botched up like my description of that, but yeah. Anyway, people can do amazing things with masking tape.
Yeah.
Now I'm just trying to find all the pieces in here that need a second or a third portion of pattern. That's all I'm doing. So does this mean you guys would be interested in a masking tape project maybe?
Mhm.
Nice.
Like
Yes.
I wouldn't,
Yeah.
yay, okay. Here are
Definitely.
lots of yeses, lots of yays. Cool. Put that on the list. Love doing different things like that.
I use the masking tape for putting acrylic.
Mm.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We'll have to make some happy little trees.
That would be great if anyone can pull that off with masking tape. That's respect.
Oh yeah, I didn't mean with masking tape. That seems hard.
Oh yeah, no. The idea just like popped into my mind.
Yeah.
I like it. Is there anyone here who's using anything other than crayons or markers? I'm just curious.
I don't know what these are. Kind of watercolor. It doesn't exactly say. Oh, they're just pins.
Okay.
I don't know. But it's
Can
a
I see them?
brush. Yeah, water-based. Yeah, so they're all blue. Oh wait, here's the package. That's probably better. So
Oh
it's,
yeah.
they're brushes on. Wait, okay. There's brushes
Yeah.
here, and then at the other end is an even smaller one, which I'm not using because this is already small enough and take forever.
But I have
yeah,
to.
there's they're water-based watercolor brush things.
Love those. Yeah, Casey bought some of those recently too. Do you want to tell everyone about them?
I just got them because they're on sale, but they are really awesome. I was really tickled because Hannah showed me that you can actually like almost use them as watercolors. Like if you blend them like with water, that the colors will blend together even better. It's very cool.
Yeah, I have been doing the watercolor brush. It's like the little paint pot, and just the pin is the water. You don't have to dip it in water.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I just went and bought some random stuff for this 100-day thing. I was like, I'll try out whatever.
It's a lot you can do with
Yeah.
with very few items.
Mhm.
No, that makes me so excited that you have some of those because they're some of my favorite things to use.
But these exact things?
Yeah.
Oh.
Tombow is the brand, and
Yeah.
in my opinion, they're some of the best out there. Although there could be a few that I haven't tried yet, but they're so amazing because you can use them literally as a like watercolors if you wanted to.
Yeah. So I haven't tried putting water on them. Okay.
Yeah, maybe I can give you a little demonstration here in a moment. I would love to.
All right.
Gonna make it a goal to get a little bit further in my picture though. Yeah, I use those markers all the time when I'm working in the hospital with patients, because I usually work with cancer patients, and I'll just knock in somebody's room, and if they want to do a project, ask them what they want to do. And a lot of times, if depending on the project, I'll pull out those markers and we'll use those, and they're just fantastic. Like, they really make people feel like they are professional artists.
Okay.
Yeah, because just the way they look, like the way the colors overlap and interact with the water, they're just great.
Yeah, I'd love a demonstration because
Yeah,
they say water-based, but nowhere on the package does it give you instructions on, you can blend it, but do you put it in water? Yeah, I don't understand.
yeah, nowhere. I'll show you. I feel like Tombow should just make me their brand ambassador. Because I talk about them all the time.
Would you mind putting that brand name in the chat too?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah, you can, if you're lucky enough, you may be able to find them on sale at Walmart.
I got mine on sale at Michael's plus had a coupon.
Oh yeah. Best.
Oh yeah, my package even says it's a Michael's exclusive. So good to know you can get them other places.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe someone should tell Michael they're not exclusive anymore.
Right.
Well, they have different like color kits,
Oh,
like
maybe.
different combinations. Like I saw one was like seaside and one was like 80s retro, you know.
Oh,
I didn't know they made
that
the I didn't know they made the 80s. I'm actually looking for them right now. Let's see. I have a lot of like little different bins that I keep a bunch of stuff in. Here we go. Found the bin.
Sorry.
Here we go. Yeah, for me, I found a bunch of them on sale, actually, well, on clearance actually at Walmart, because they can be a little bit expensive otherwise, but if you can find them on clearance, like, that's the best. Apparently not a lot of people who shop at Walmart know that you can just know that they're great, amazing products. Let's see, scrap piece of paper. All right, so this is just a short little demonstration. Tombow markers. So this is just kind of how I show patients at the hospital too. You can sort of scribble with them too, if you wanted to. You can be more precise, but just know that you don't have to be precise. So you can overlap with your colors like that.
Oh, and it doesn't
starts to blend.
It doesn't get on top of your other color.
It blends it. So it does get on top of it and it does blend it.
Okay.
Like I'm actually blending the green with the pink here.
But it doesn't
sure.
like wreck the tip of your current pin.
Right, it doesn't. So I could do it that way, or I could take some water. And so water and a paintbrush. Let's see. And I can put the water on top of it and spread it as if it's watercolor. Like that. So if I wanted to put it to create a softer gradation, I first put my brush on the non-colored portion like that, and then drag it onto the colored portion. Like so. I can keep it contained, or I can take a little more water and I can spread it. Really just depends on you.
Seems like a lot of water.
Yeah, kind of is. Well worth it though.
And it will
Definitely
just dry and evaporate. And
oh yeah. Yeah, as long as you don't like tilt your picture too soon, it'll dry.
Then it cries.
Yeah. Don't let it cry. There we go.
Just like to make flowers. Or backgrounds. Yeah.
These do make fantastic flowers. There you go.
Oh, awesome. Thanks.
You're welcome. Wonder if we can
put a kid in artisa.com. They has a very good price. Actually, they has a firm you can pay in 4 payments, equally 4 payments, and they has a bunch of that's a very good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Casey,
So
I feel like we need to tag Tombow whenever this YouTube video goes up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get a few donations from them for MS Foundation.
Yeah, okay. Pay money. Yay,
Right?
Tombow.
I'll put someone on it.
Oh man. I'm telling you, I need to be their spokeswoman. I want to put that a little closer. Is there anybody who's gotten to the next side to part 2?
Not yet.
Not yet.
The first one.
Yeah, it takes a while, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Merly, that's beautiful. I'm gonna spotlight you real quick. That's lovely.
But it is the 4 colors.
I love it.
I love it. You did so good.
Thank you.
Super cool. Does anyone else want to share? Oh, Lamar, let me spotlight you real quick. Here you are. Oh, lovely. So you added different sections of color. Nice. That's beautiful too. You actually got to the other side.
This is my daughters right here.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Oh, I love y'all's choices of colors.
Thank you.
They're so nice.
Yeah.
Man, thank y'all for sharing.
Mine is pretty, well, it's pretty boring because I picked the all blue pack and now I'm like, I can't tell which blues are blues. Or, you know, and so finally I threw a purple in there because I got tired of just blue. And I keep picking a blue and then I'm like, no, wait, that's the same color next door. And so I had to keep trying them because they all kind of look the same.
I think that's gorgeous though.
It
It's
is
my favorite
beautiful.
color, which is why I thought, oh, I'll just do all blues. But
Man, I
yeah.
love that. I love that. So when you did that, did you use the really thin end of the
Oh
marker?
no, I
Okay.
thought I would, but that would take. So yeah, like the Tombows, I'm using like all the thick. This purple one is my only like normal tiny one.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm using the big end of the Tombow because at least I can make it fatter.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'll just
No,
pour
that's
my
good.
water glass on here and just be done.
You know what though? I was gonna like recommend that if you really wanted to like push the envelope a little bit. If you want to see how it looks on mine first,
Yeah.
why not?
You spill your
Why
water on
not?
yours. Okay.
Like, let me see, I have my water here. Okay. I'm just going to, I guess, like fling some water just to see what happens. And ta-da! Let's see. Now I got to give it a second. Let me, there we go, make that a little bit bigger. Now I'm not using Tombow. I'm using like regular Crayola markers, but I know for a fact that they, you can actually use them as if they were watercolor markers. The same way I use Tombow, I use Crayola too. Ta-da! Not too bad. Kind of like that. You see that? Just a little experiment, you know, if you wanted to try something new.
Yeah.
Now that will, I know that will dry and it will leave the little, what's the word? Mixtures of colors as is.
Oh, that's neat. Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty cool. Thanks
Well,
for
and
the
especially
idea.
since you have the or not red, the green and yellow.
Yeah,
Or no,
yeah, like right, like
and
right
then
up
the blue,
here.
it's like all, yeah, it's kind of combining nicely.
Not too shabby. Actually, I could, if I had a napkin here, which I don't, I could actually blot the piece of paper just once. I don't want to spread it. And that would speed up the drying a little bit. But not too shabby.
Yeah.
So that's always what I encourage. Like in any art form that you want to try out, you have to try to experiment with it first. See what you like about it, see what you don't like about it, because that's just as important to finding out what you do like, you know, find out what you don't like too. And then just sort of being playful with it, you know, if that's what keeps you interested in it, then be playful with it. And in fact, like, actually, this is a good segue into, I was going to show you guys the next project for next week, because I like to be playful and I like to go back to childhood materials, so crayons, markers, things like that. And I like to reinvent them a little bit. And I like to reinvent the scribble every time I do things. So I'm actually going to share my screen because we are going to do Crayon Mountains next week. Dun, dun, dun. There it is. Crayon Mountains. So I guess not quite a scribble, but close enough. Close enough.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Yay. Yeah, I definitely recommend having like something big and round to trace on your paper, because you'll want a lot of space to make the mountains, you know. But we'll start off with something round to trace, and then just crayons. Like you don't even need a pencil, but you can use a pencil if you want to, but you don't need it. So throwing that out there.
So I have a question. If you were to use watercolor with, like, since it's wax, would the watercolor flow like down that like snow or magma or whatever those lines are?
Ooh.
You know?
Ooh,
Like
I
if you
don't
had
know.
enough crayon to like make a fence.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. If you had enough of a barrier.
Yeah.
I've not tried it to where I've tried to make a big enough barrier, but I don't see why you couldn't experiment with that.
I hear you like to do that.
I do, yeah. I was going to show you a crayon wax resist project where it's similar to what you're talking about. You know what? I don't know about the dripping part actually, but I know that it will definitely block off some of those areas. Let me stop my share and show you this one project. So this is different, but that same idea of using the crayon to block the, here we go, like white, for example. That's very thick white.
Yeah.
Like you can definitely block that off. But I don't know about the dripping part. I haven't tried that yet.
And that's with watercolor or?
No, it's actually acrylic paint.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But you get the same effect though.
Yeah.
Yeah, also acrylic, but same effect, you know? So, but yeah, I'd say try it out next time. There we go. Would anyone else like to share?
I share mine.
Yay, Veronica. Let me spotlight you. Oh man, I love those colors. Like the way you put your lines in there, those are lovely.
Thank you. I want it to be colorful.
Yeah.
Very bold. Yeah.
For sure.
Happiness.
You did it though. Like I really love that one section, like kind of in the middle, but a little bit lower with all the red and the green, and definitely the one with the purple on the like off to the side. Love those.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Super cool, Veronica.
Yeah.
I'd share, but my camera doesn't work. Sorry.
Oh no. Was that Tammy?
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's okay. Maybe next time. You're welcome to share a picture too through email if you'd like. Would anyone else like to share?
Your email was hgarrison@gmail, right?
Here, let me write it down. It's hgarrisonart. I'm gonna put it in the chat. hgarrisonart@gmail, if I can spell correctly, at gmail.com.
Okay.
There we go.
I miss art. Yeah.
Yes. But you got most of it. Marianne, were you gonna share?
I was going to show you. Yep.
Woohoo! Oh, you have a color scheme.
Well, my markers are kind of dried out, so it was. I'm going to invest in new ones, but it worked.
Honestly, though, like for being dried out, they're beautiful. I just love seeing your hand in your mark making.
Oh, thank you. Well,
yeah,
it was fun. I really liked it. Definitely meditative.
Good.
Thanks.
That's what I strive for. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
Super cool, you guys.
This was good.
Good. I'm glad you guys had fun. Glad you guys learned a little project.
Yeah.
Casey, would you like to share?
Absolutely, I will share.
Yay.
Finish this line.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize I was off video. Hold on. I don't
There
know
we
how
go.
that happened.
I'm gonna spotlight you. Ooh, your colors.
I went bold.
Yeah. Definitely bold. I love it.
Yeah. That was great.
I know. I love all those colors.
A little sloppy in spots, but hey, you know, I can deal with it. This
we
half
could-
looks good. Happy with that
Yeah.
half.
Did you use your fancy Tombow markers?
I did. I am working with my fancy Tombow markers.
Nice.
I wish we could make a quilt out of all these.
Oh, you know what? That would be super cool, actually.
That would be very cool.
We can make a
Yeah.
virtual quilt.
True.
That's a great idea though. Can we like put that on the table for like a big project? I don't know. A
Yeah,
special
Tombow,
project,
make it happen.
right? We're
Y'all
here promoting
joke,
your
but
brand.
y'all joke, but I'm gonna have somebody hitting up Tombow before you know it.
I'm not joking.
Yeah. No, I say go for it.
I hear they're expensive, so you know.
They're well worth it though. They really are. Brand ambassador, just saying.
Is there any way I'm trying to copy these links into my file, but I can't seem to copy them? Is there a reason why I can't?
You know what? Zoom always gives me a problem as well. Casey, is there a way for her to save the chat as like a file?
I don't know, but I do know are you able to click the link and have it open in your browser? Because if you do that, then you should be able to copy it from there. Because
Okay. Well, I was just trying to copy like Tombow watercolor markers. I can't copy anything.
All right. Well, let's see. I may be able to download the chat from the back end. So reply to your registration email, and if I can download it, I'll send it to you. Otherwise, you can just ask me what you want to know.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I know that GoToMeeting has the save chat option, but I'm not seeing that.
Yeah, it's not on this one. And there's different
Hmm.
iterations of Zoom. Our old Zoom didn't have it, and now we finally can both copy the chat and download it, but it looks like both are blocked on this version
Oh.
of Zoom.
But I think
Okay.
I may be able to get it from the foundation's account, from the
Yeah.
foundation Zoom account. So shoot
Cool.
me an email and I'll let you know if I can.
Cool. Thank you, Casey.
No problem.
I have to run to dinner. I'll see you all next week.
Yay, good to see you. Good
Thank
to
you,
meet
Hannah.
you. You're
Nice
welcome.
to meet you all. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, it's what time is it? 8:11. So dinner time for me. So I've got to run too. But I hope to see you all next week.
Monday, yeah. I
will.
will.
Yes.
Thanks for coming, everyone.
Have a
Thank you.
fantastic rest of your evening.
Have a nice week.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Good night. Thanks,
Good to
Hannah.
meet you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah.
All right,
welcome,
I'm off
guys.
too. Have a good one.